All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Well, we have it. All right, it says here, Dow Jones tanks 700 plus points as Trump trades barbs with Beijing and the Federal Reserve. Okay, which when that article came out earlier this morning, all right, concerning what China said about retaliating with the tariffs, it was pretty obvious that Trump was going to say something outrageously equal in return, and that was going to really affect the stock market. Okay, which, like I said in that video, man, now is one of the most vulnerable times for the stock market, especially with this trade war stuff going on. All right, people already in fears of a recession, and this is only gonna push it over that little limit. Okay, now mind you, Trump is not only coming at China, but now he's basically trying to turn the Federal Reserve into an enemy. All right, but let's read here what it says in this article. So it says the Dow Jones saw a steep drop of 700 points following a threat from Beijing to slap new tariffs on billions of dollars in American goods, and a harsh response from U.S. President Donald Trump amid an ongoing trade dispute. Now, Trump did say that companies should start looking for alternatives other than China. Okay, now mind you, this is based on the threat. All right, them coming out and saying this is what they're gonna do. Okay, but what happens, or wait till they actually start doing it? Okay, then you're really gonna see a drop in that market, man. Okay, it says the precipitous fall in the Dow on Friday came after China unveiled its response to Washington's latest tariffs, vowing to impose penalties on $75 billion in American products. President Trump responded in a volley of tweets slamming Beijing for underhanded trade practices and threatening to cut off all business ties with the country, sending markets further into panic. Okay, so now let's say this does go on, all right, and then it does get intensified. Okay, getting closer and closer to the end of the year. Okay, how bad of a toll do you think that's gonna take on the stock market? It says, we don't need China, and frankly would be far better off without them, the president tweeted, adding that America's firms could start looking for an alternative to China. Whoa. And now mind you, China, look, man, if you want to know how much China does, look at a lot of the labels of a lot of the products that you own. All right, yeah, it'll tell you made in China. Okay, so now imagine if the U.S. was to isolate China, all right, from doing any trade or any sort of business with China. Imagine what that would do. It says the president also singled out Federal Reserve Chairman Jay Powell, asking whether the chairman or Chinese president Xi Jinping was a bigger enemy to the United States. The President Trump and White House, because you know what it is, Trump has been set up, all right, as in he was selected, put in that place, all right, to cause this turmoil and this chaos within the world. If you noticed, since Trump came into presidency, that's when a lot of these things have been brewing. Okay, you have a lot of racial tensions that have been spiking. You have a lot of geopolitical tensions that have been spiking. All right, and this is what bringing about prophecy to pass. Okay, not only do you have the economy that's just been out of control, all right, but now you have the whole tension between these nations. Not only just Russia and the U.S. or Iran and the U.S. or Venezuela, but now you're having tension between even people who are supposed to be so-called allies of the U.S. All right, so it says here, arguing that the institution has raised interest rates too far, too fast. The president repeated that criticism on Friday. During times of recession, the Federal Reserve lowers interest rates to encourage borrowing and stimulate economic activity. However, holding too low risks the creation of a bubble of unsustainable growth. Okay, so if you notice, yeah, they did lower the interest rates because even they know that, look, man, things looking real bad. Now we're not gonna come out and tell you how bad exactly it's looking, but it's so bad to the point where we can't hide it anymore. Okay, we can sell you fables, but if they come out and tell you the economy is good, the economy is good, but you're seeing the numbers and the data dropping, you know, you people are not dumb to that point. All right, well, at least investors, some investors. So it says the Dow saw its worst tumble in a single day in 2019 last week, with an 800-point drop, reversing previous gains accrued after Washington indicated it would delay additional sanctions on Chinese goods from September to the end of the year. Beijing previously urged Washington not to make good on its tariff threats and to find a way to resolve the trade dispute, but also warned that it would retaliate to any new American levies. All right, and the Lord is really stirring the spirit of these nations up. Okay, so we're gonna see how. Well, matter of fact, let me get a quick precept on that. All right, but we're gonna see how things go getting to the end of the year, going into next year, man. Okay, because like I said, it's not gonna be always just the Dow drops 800 points and then this and then they keep threatening each other. No, very soon, all right, you can only go so far before you start throwing punches. All right, you can only talk so much smack before you finally get to the person's face and the hands start flying. All right, and that's where we see this is headed. So it says, it's Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. All right. Now, a modern day king would be considered a president. All right, the president of whatever country it may be. All right, and their heart represents their mind. Okay, so like it's saying here, the mind of the king is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. You see, so if when Trump comes out of nowhere and says, boom, this is what we're doing, we're pulling out of the nuclear deal, well, the Lord made him do that. All right, or he says we're gonna put this much percent of tariffs on this country, boom, the Lord made him do that, and then the country responds